Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.
Hello and welcome to the Expert Interview Series. And in today's Expert Interview Series, we have with us a seasoned expert in the field of ServiceNow HRSD, Mr. Peeyush Jaroli. With over 11 years of experience in the industry, Peeyush has been instrumental in configuring and customizing various ServiceNow HRSD modules and applications, making significant contribution to HR services, case management, knowledge management, and much more. He is currently a part of the Uber team, driving innovation and efficiency in ServiceNow world at Uber. Peeyush's journey has taken him to different corners of the world, from India to United Kingdoms, and his diverse experiences have enriched his expertise. We welcome you to the Expert Interview Series and hope our viewers get to learn from your experiences.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Pooja, for so good introduction, and I'm also obliged to be interviewed here. So I'll share my experience and how I joined the ServiceNow community as a whole, and what all my learnings are. So to begin with, when I passed out from my college, I was placed in an MNC, and I got a chance to work there in a couple of projects. And I worked on several different technologies. And while working on different things, I got to know about ServiceNow. So at that time, back in 2011, 2012, ServiceNow just started, and it had kind of a basic structure of ITSM, that is IT Service Management. And there were a couple of clients for which ServiceNow was working, providing the solution to manage their IT systems. And that is where I got into a project, and that client, like for my company, I was working for a client, and that client was using ServiceNow. They were using Remedy, and they were transitioning to ServiceNow, and that is where I just got my hands onto it, and that is how I entered into ServiceNow world. And after that, like it is like to picture this, I just share that I was working on different technologies. There were so many things. There were Java, there were .NET, and all of these web services, and everything was going. And then I just touched this ServiceNow thing for the very first time. And as I moved deeper into it, I found it interesting in terms of how this works, and also how it helps the organizations. Okay, and after that, the HRSD where I'm currently working on, the area or the module that I'm working on, was not that much evolved. It was still a legacy kind of applications where things were in the global scope. So these are like basically the technical terms. Any ServiceNow developer who will be watching this video, they will understand. Everything was in the global, things were not in the scope. But I started from there. What actually sparked my interest was that what level of transformative potential the HR space has. Okay, so the idea was of using the technology to revamp and optimize these HR processes. So this just clicked me. So I saw it as an opportunity, as a chance to not only streamline the things but enhance the overall employee experience. So there are different modules within the ServiceNow. We have ITSM, we have SEM, we have ITOM, we have HRSD. So HR basically deals with the processes. For example, you have employee joining the company, that is the onboarding. Any organization would have that onboarding. They would be doing on a different system. And then during this journey, during the tenure of the employee in a company, so employee will go through various different phases, right? Employee will get promotion, they might relocate from one location to another location, they might in their personal world, they may get married, they might become parent, and then at the end they will leave the company. So this entire journey is where HR is involved. HR connects with the employee, even if there is a promotion, even if they are getting married, or even if they are becoming a parent or leaving the company, in each and every step, HR is involved. So the idea of improving the experience of the employee within a single platform is what the most important and exciting thing was. So as I dwelled deeper into this, I realized that the effectiveness of this HR world, which could how it could impact an organization and can bring a positive impact on the employee experience, is what really fueled my passion. So in a nutshell, I like this. My journey into HRSD began with a curiosity about how I would improve the HR processes and the belief in the ServiceNow technology. And since then, like there is no look back. I have worked into various uh, different aspects or critical situation within the HRSD, worked for different clients. Currently, I'm doing it for Uber, and it's a great journey. And it has been quite adventurous, filled with learning, challenges, and the satisfaction of knowing that whatever that I'm contributing is something that really matters. Absolutely. So, ServiceNow indeed a versatile platform. In my previous response, as I mentioned, it has so many different modules. Everyone has, like every developer will have their own specific skill set to work in a specific module, and some would be definitely very diverse, will be able to work on anything.
Right.
But yeah, this is a versatile platform. And when it comes to ServiceNow specifically in the HRSD module, this HRSD module, whether it needs to be configured or it needs a customization to meet an organization's specific needs, my approach is all about getting to know in and outs of the particular company. So wherever I am working, for whichever client I am working. So previously, I was in the service-based industry where, and you would know that when we are working for a consultancy firm, they have lot many different clients. So a project is there, it goes on for 1 year or 6 months or 2 years. After that, we move on to another project. So I have worked with so many different clients or so many different companies and implemented the ServiceNow HRSD. So what I generally do is I start by diving deeper into understanding what the organization's needs are in terms of implementing ServiceNow HRSD as a module. Okay, this means talking to various teams like HR, IT, not only these, but end to end user also, like end user also, to figure out what challenges that they are facing and what they really want the system to do. I will also give you an example. So when we are talking about the onboarding, so you are onboarded in your company, I'm onboarded in my company.
Right.
HR, our recruiter, is connected with us, giving us all the information. But it is not only HR. So when I say I need to work for this company, I need to receive my laptop in order to work for the company, right? I need to have the assets with me. How the assets will come to me? If I talk about these past 3 years, so things are delivered at home. So how these things are managed? HR needs to have connect with the IT team, because IT team will handle all these different kind of assets, and they need to ensure that just sorry about that. So they need to ensure that this person gets a laptop so that they can start working on it. And similar to this, like there are different IT assets or the badge card. If you are going to office, you need to have the card. So how all of these together can be combined within the HRSD. So that is the beauty of HRSD. So what the organization's needs are, that is what I look in terms of implementing and configuring the HRSD module. What they want the case management, they want the virtual agent experience, they want knowledge management experience. So all of these. And the beauty of ServiceNow is the flexibility that it provides. So it has tailor made workflows, forms, automations. It's like having a toolbox which I can use to create exactly what organization needs.
Right.
And of course, like you ask about the challenges, so it's not all smooth sailing. One big challenge is, so in ServiceNow space you get the configuration versus the customization where you go a little bit out of the box, write your own code and try to do the things which are not available handy. So it becomes a little bit tricky to decide when you want to go out of the box, when you want to push on the requirements, and when you want to go and code yourself to meet the needs. So that basically when you just grind yourself and gain some experience, then the developer would know, okay, that for this particular piece I need to go and write a code. For this particular thing we already have something, we can just do a little bit more configuration and that can be achieved. uh, Talking about another challenge, that is about whenever you are making some changes, this change can make some chaos in the existing processes. Okay, because you won't be working in the silos. You will be working with other departments, other teams, and
Right.
they might not agree on what you are making as a change, because that might require them to change a little bit in their system as well, in their process, in their application. So the effective way to handle this is the communication. Make sure that everyone is aligned, everyone agrees, write some good documents, mention that okay, this won't impact their system this much, what kind of changes that they need to do, and how this can lead to more efficient product at the end. So
Right.
this way we can handle this situation. So yeah, I think the best way to handle the challenges are that we work closely with the teams, understand what their needs are, and manage the changes effectively, and then we can achieve these things.
Right. So it's all about understanding the customization and right communication.
Yes,
Right.
definitely. So there are two different aspect to this, like how this global exposure can change or can help you think in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll share some background. So I was having around 2 or 2.5 years of experience when I got my first on-site opportunity. So on-site opportunity is what we call in our service-based organizations industry world, that someone who is working for a client and that person gets a chance to go to client location. It could be in USA, Europe, or UK, or anywhere in the world, and get to meet those people, work with them, and they spend some time there, and then they come back to their base location, which is in India. So I got this opportunity when I was having around 2.5 years of work experience. I went to United Kingdom, and there I worked for 2 years on a different tenure, but I worked there 2 years. And how it helped me, it helped me immensely. And I'll give you the example. So when we are working for a company which is not MNC, like not a multinational company,
Mm-hmm.
what happens is that we are stuck with the processes within that country or within that state's locations, policies, and laws.
Right.
For example, if a person who is working within ServiceNow, okay, if a person who is working in ServiceNow and never worked for an MNC, working for an Indian company or anywhere, like if a person who is in USA working for a USA company who doesn't have operations in rest of the world, the policies, processes, the approach would be that okay, I need to design this solution so that my country people, like this location based people, should be able to access it, should be able to complete it, and all these kind of things. When I moved there, I got to know that okay, this is not the only way to approach it, because if I'm creating a form where it need, for example, if I'm creating a form where I'm offering cell phone to my employees,
Right.
so along with the cell phone I will offer SIM card as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, offering a SIM card, if I'm in India, I need to design a form where I need to get their Aadhaar card or something which has their photo identity as well as their address identity.
Right.
This might not be required when we move to other countries. Okay. So if I go to other country and design a form where I'm asking Aadhaar card, this term itself doesn't exist there,
Right.
right? So this is just an example. It can be anything. For example, for all the income tax related purposes, we have PAN card, which is quite mandatory, important. So if I am generating a payroll or there is a payroll form, I would ask Indian employees to share their PAN card details. But this PAN card terminology will not be same in USA, Canada, or America, or UK, anywhere in Australia, Japan. The terminology would be different. So I need to be aware of those terminology, what is that they are using, whether it is a separate form that I want them to fill in, what kind of information that I need. So, and this brings me to design the solution in such a way that for the single piece of form, it can be so dynamic that it can be used for Indian population, it can be used for people or employees who are working in USA, people who are working in Japan or Australia, China, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So this just broaden your space in terms of how you think, how you approach to a solution. So before that, when I was 2 year experience, I was having this limited focused kind of solution in mind. But after that, it just broadened up, and I started to think on the things very much differently. So like for instance, I learned that what works in one country, that is not necessary it will work in another. So this has influenced my approach to tailor the HRSD module to accommodate these diverse requirements. So now, like since then, I'm trying to build the flexibility into the system, ensuring that it can adjust to various regulations. Each country has different regulations. They all have different language requirements and their working styles. So I just try to collaborate everything and build a solution like this. So like understanding this different global practice has also emphasized the importance of localization, that what is required in one country is what needs to be built. So the solution is global, but it is applicable or it can pertain different things which are specific to those countries. So this is just fine tuning the needs, which I got to learn by gaining this global exposure. So HR case management is like a major component within the HRSD module. So that is where most of the organizations start with. So like you have the MVP product. Whenever you start building it out, whenever you give some contract to the developer company, the case management is the first thing that you ask them to build. I'll tell you the reason also. But there are two different perspective to think on this question or on this as a whole. One is the developer perspective, and another one is from the product manager's perspective. So developer perspective could be that you get a story. Story could be within ServiceNow in Jira. You get a story, you get the requirements, you write the code, you do the configuration, and you are done with it. So that is a developer perspective. I got the requirement, I'm completing my task, I'm done with it. The product manager's perspective could be that I need to think it as a whole in terms of employees' experience, that it's not about just writing a notification that is going to a user when the case is created. No, it's not that. It's a journey that when this notification is sent, I'm just giving these technical examples so that when the audience looks at it, who are from the ServiceNow background, they would understand. So it's not about just creating the notification story and then completing the development for it. It's about when this notification goes to user, what are different actions that the user can take, and then completing that loop altogether is what product manager thinks. So there are two different aspects, and this response would be like mixture of both. So talking about this, the HR case management system, and then there are different things also. So case management is kind of a backbone of HRSD, where the majority of the things or majority of the companies go with this. So the successful case management is like mixture of couple of things. Okay, the first thing is that ability to handle different type of cases, which is very crucial. So this can be in the HR issues, can be very simplistic way. It can be a simple employee query to the resolving the conflict between the manager and employee. There are such scenarios which are quite sensitive. So if we want to handle that, the case management configuration are such that it provides the ability to create such kind of cases also, where we restrict the visibility, where we restrict the access to certain people to certain levels, or like all these things are possible within the ServiceNow's HRSD module, within the case management. Okay, so this is one example. So basically, the flexibility in managing all these different kind of cases is a big deal. And then ServiceNow offers a very structured approach to handle all these different categories of cases. Second is that the transparency and communication. Okay, how does ServiceNow provides that? And these all are I'm mentioning in with the view of the product manager, but I'm explaining it with the view of the developer. Okay, so that it's a mixture of both. How the transparency and communication. So what happens is that you got a query. Okay, and to give a simple example, you go and order something from Amazon or Flipkart. Now you got a defective product. What you would do, you would go and either chat with them, or they would ask you to create a ticket. Now if you create a ticket, you don't hear anything for next 3 days. You don't know what is the status of your request or your complaint. You get furious that why nothing is happening, why I'm not getting informed, why there is no resolution. ServiceNow handles this situation very effectively. So ServiceNow has a centralized platform where as soon as you create the ticket until your ticket is resolved, each and everything that happens on the ticket is communicated in a very well mannered. You can go and check it on the platform, or if configured, you will receive the notification within your mailbox. So how it happens is, if a ticket is new, you get the notification when the state changes from new to in progress. Someone picks it up, someone is working on it. If they make any comment, then you get the notification, you get the mail in your inbox. If there is input required from other team, for example, you created a payroll issue that you did not receive the salary. Now this agent who is working on the ticket might not have access to your payment related stuff. So what they would do is, they would create an internal ticket to check with other team. At that time your ticket will be on hold, and you will get all the information that okay, we have created another ticket, there is some information that we are seeking, this process is going on. And then until the closure, as soon as the ticket is closed, you get the survey whether you are satisfied or not. So all of these things are handled in a very transparent and effective way. So that is what ServiceNow does. Okay, that is second thing. Third thing is, in the case management, is the efficiency. So what efficiency means is that because it is a ticketing tool, if a company having 1 lakh employee, if every employee ticket create a ticket, like you can imagine how many tickets would be created. So ServiceNow handles in a very effective way in terms of improving the efficiency, that it provides the automation. So ServiceNow keeps, like there are machine learning and predictive intelligence provided by ServiceNow. So it checks if there are similar kind of ticket which is created, it automatically provides the resolution to the user. For example, if my laptop is not working, or my communicator or some application is not working, it would be common problem for those 10,000 people. So definitely there will be some knowledge article, there will be some steps mentioned, and as soon as you create the ticket, ServiceNow will detect it that okay, I already have a resolution. I don't need a human to be involved and give a response. ServiceNow itself will provide a resolution, and the user will receive the steps, they will perform the step, and then their issue is resolved. So this is like just one of the example how ServiceNow tackles it as a whole, and then HRSD as well is tackling these kind of situations. So this helps in moving the queue faster. Queue is basically where agents have a lot many tickets in their queue, so these are getting resolved faster, automation happening, and then the agents are getting some bandwidth to breathe and work on the items that are more important, that require their actual attention. So these, and then last thing to mention is the data and analytics. So after all of these things that you have completed in ServiceNow in the case management, ultimately this today's era is the data era, right? So you need to see the reports, what is happening, which is the most pertaining issue in last 1 month or in last 1 quarter. It could be like, depending on the team what they want to see, they would want to see the cumulative approach of how data is showing, what users are asking, what is users. So if I am a director, if I am a lead or a senior management person of a team, I would want to see that in my team, what are the majority of the issues that are being raised in ServiceNow platform, and then how would I go and check that? I won't go and individual ticket and check that. I would get a report, and that report, like ServiceNow has a very beautiful and very competitive feature of these analytics and reports, where we can see things in a very good visual way. So that is the again the last thing. So in total, the flexibility, the transparency, efficiency, and data analytics, these are the vital component of waste management. Yeah, absolutely. So ServiceNow is, I think, around 14 or 15-year old now, and it has grown exponentially. Like the way it is capturing the market, the way it is providing the solutions. So earlier it was used to be considered as just a ITSM tool to handle the ticketing. That's it. But now it has so many modules, be it security, be it discovery, CMDB, HR, ITOM, business processes, asset management, everything is within ServiceNow. So yes, it is evolving, and not evolving in terms of capturing the market, but it is competitive enough to make sure that all the latest feature, be it data and analytics we just talked about, be it artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything is within the ServiceNow. So there are a couple of cool trends or innovations that I think we should talk about. To begin with, AI and machine learning. Okay, now this AI and machine learning is in every field. How ServiceNow utilize that? So within that we have predictive intelligence, the categorizations, case categorization, email categorization. To give you an example, uh, we just discussed, right, that different type of tickets are created from a single platform, but how they are being routed in the back end so that automatically it goes to subject matter expert, and then without any delay that expert can work on it.
Right.
So this is basically the categorization of these tickets. That is one thing that we are doing. Second thing is, if I'm not creating the ticket from the portal, or when I say portal, it is basically the platform. If I'm sending an email, okay, the way that we are sending an email to any, say you are sending an email to Make My Trip or Clear Trip, Amazon, Flipkart, or ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, any of these different global giants, you are sending an email. How to make sure that what you are writing is going and landing into the correct person's bucket? For example, if you mention uh, in let's take an example of banking system. Okay, so if you are a bank customer and you got a fraud, okay, someone just took out money from your account and you don't know about it, and you are writing an email. So what you will do is you will write your account number, what happened, how it happened. The language you will use is that I did not do it, someone else has took money, this fraud has happened, everything has happened. Now if they don't have any system in place, like the automation in place, when you are sending an email, it would go and sit in their general queue where there would be thousands of different emails. Someone will come, look at the email content, see, okay, hey, this is where someone is saying that my credit card is missed. Okay, let's send it to credit card queue. Someone is saying that my payment is missed, I will be able to make payment tomorrow, could you please do the adjustment? Let's send it to different queue. Then your mail will come, okay, someone got a fraud alert and we need to send it to frauds queue. So this is like the manual process. What ServiceNow does is, ServiceNow try to read from the historical data,
Okay.
say 10,000 cases, 15,000 cases. It reads and it automatically generates the prediction. So what it would do, if this system is in place, the automation is in place in ServiceNow, ServiceNow system will read the content, the keywords, that okay, this is talking about fraud, this is talking about money that has been stolen from the account, this is the user, and this is the date. Everything it captures, it will directly create a ticket and assign it to the fraudulent queue automatically within the fraction of second. So that is how the machine learning works.
Right, right.
You got it right. So this is like just one of the example. I just explained it in a broader way to make everyone understand that this is how ServiceNow's machine learning things work. Similar way, we have this predictive intelligence, artificial intelligence, all of these working. We have virtual agent. So to give you another example, I won't make it too long, but to give you an example that a virtual agent, what happens, it is like kind of a digital assistant to you, where you don't talk to human, you don't engage human or consume their bandwidth to complete the work. You just talk to some bot and get your work done.
Right.
And bot, they just don't get tired, right? They don't have any time limitation or schedule. These are 24/7 available. You go ask some queries, you get a response, you are done with your work, right? You are done with your question, or you are done with your ticket. You don't need to create a ticket for a human. You just interact with virtual agent. An example of this is one in one of the client where I was working. What happened is that they were receiving so many tickets to give them the experience letter, or address proof letter. So I'm working for a company, I need to get something from government, I need to submit the address proof. If I'm a new in the city, I won't be having any proof, so I can ask my company that I'm living at this address, I'm working for you, could you please give me that letter that this person is working with us from this date, and we certify this is their designation, and we certify this. So lot many tickets were created to get this kind of letter. When we think, it is kind of an automated system. Ticket is generated, there is a proper format already present. The agent just need to click on generate and then send it to the user who requested it. There is no human brain required in this.
Right.
Can we automate this? Can we do it through the virtual agent where the human intervention is not required? That is where we thought we just built some configuration, did some code, or created a virtual agent topic, and then just published it.
Right.
And from that day onwards, all of these 100 or 200 tickets every day that were being created are routed to virtual agent. Users are completing there. They are happy because they are getting immediate response. If a human is doing, if they have 200 tickets, first ticket will get immediate response, but the 200th ticket, it might take 1 day or 2 day to get to that ticket, and by that time there will be another 200 tickets that are created. So from the time that I got to learn HRSD and I explored more and more, I was just fascinated, or I should say I just bow down to ServiceNow because whatever learnings, experience, explorations I got to know is because of this field that I was able to learn and grow this much. Okay, so anyone who comes to me, if they want to, they ask me. There are people, juniors or relatives, friends. If they are seeking a new job or if they want to start a career, I just suggest them to go with the ServiceNow. And if they ask that what module, I am kind of biased towards HRSD. Okay, one of the reason is that it is kind of a low code, no code module. If you go to ITSM, still there are some of the places where you would need a lot of coding. HR is where that you can still grow. Like even if you are not from the complete IT background, if you are coming from a different background, but if you are really keen to learn it, there is no HRSD is one where you can shoot up your career. Okay. So yeah, you were asking about some advices. So the first thing is that getting a solid understanding on ServiceNow itself. Okay, this is the key. It's like the canvas on which you will create all these incredible solution, be it ITSM, HR, ITOM, ITAM, anything, discovery, CMDB, anything. So getting the solid understanding of ServiceNow itself is the key. That is like the first and foremost step. Next is diving into the world of HR. How you would dive into? Not just limiting your horizon to developers' perspective, broaden it to the product manager's perspective also. Understand how the HR processes are working, how and what are the challenges that a company is facing, how you can help them to organize things, and how the organizations can handle their processes which are critical but they are repetitive.
Right.
It's not that what you are getting from your scrum master and then you are developing it. No, if you want to scale more, if you want to grow up in the ladder, you need to just broaden your perspective and then provide a solution, and then you will just see a exponential growth in your career. Okay, and then third thing is staying up to date, because ServiceNow keeps on doing the releases every 6 months. So every 6 months there are so many new things that are being introduced. So if you are stuck with a specific release and specific knowledge, you will be nowhere. So you need to keep on evolving. As ServiceNow is moving ahead, you also need to keep updating yourself, and that is why ServiceNow keep on asking to renew your certifications. That is where you get to brush up your skills and then know that what are the latest trend and everything. Right. And last and not the least is getting the hands-on experience. So all of these things, getting the understanding or understanding the processes and then staying up to date is fine, but until and unless you get to do the things on your own, the theoretical knowledge will not help you much. So yeah, like in a nutshell, my advice is get certified, understand the HR processes, be a great problem solver, stay updated, and get as much as hands-on experience that you can. ServiceNow community is a great tool. You get a lot of questions there. You go there and try to solve those questions. Think that what different peoples are facing as an issue and see if you can help out them, or at least if you can try to find a solution. If you can post it, good. If you can't post it, at least see and try to solve yourself. So this combination will be a great recipe to for a success in the HRSD world.
Right. So as a fresher, somebody who wants to pursue a career, they should first go about taking some certifications in the domain, learning, and then practicing hands-on.
So certification is kind of this just give you this benchmark that now you have achieved that. So it's not. I know there are people who are getting certified by using terms or just reciting these theory questions. It doesn't work that way. So you need to learn the theory, you need to do some hands-on, and then go and do the actual certification. Like certification means that you get the question and immediately you know the answer, not by memorizing it, but by the practicing it. You have practiced it for 6 months. Now, if I ask you a question, you would immediately know the answer. You don't need to memorize it. So
Right.
that is what the main key. In the interview, any interviewer will be able to catch you that whether you know it or whether you are faking it. So it's very important to know the things and just mention that I know this piece and you explain it well.
Right.
Interviewer will be able to understand that okay, this candidate has a potential and they may hire you. If you fake it, then you will be in bad shape.
Right. So basically, good technological knowledge is important.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then, of course, henceforth, if you're aware about the technology, implementation becomes easier.
Yes, definitely. If you know the technology, it becomes a lot of easier, and you just get to think very differently. You get your interest,
Right.
okay,
One
and
more
when you get the
question.
interest, you won't feel bored working on anything.
Right. I had one more question. Like, is this technology also applicable to other sectors apart from HRSD? I mean, other
Yeah, so
departments
ServiceNow,
like.
it first thing is that it is applicable to any sector as a tool, as a platform. ServiceNow is a cloud platform which can be used by any organization, and HRSD is where HR processes are involved. Other than that, we have ITSM where IT related processes. I mentioned that the anything you have email issues, you have laptop things, and all of these stuff. Anything related to IT, that is in the ITSM. We have asset management. So in the asset management, your entire organization and the employees of your organization are using some asset. These are managed somewhere. What ServiceNow does is ServiceNow provide a single platform so that HRSD, ITSM, asset management, discovery, CMD, everything can be used on a single platform.
Right.
So yeah, lot many different departments can use it. Discovery is there, and then security is also there. So all of these things together make ServiceNow a great tool.
So there's a lot of scope for people who
Lot
want
of
to.
scope. Anyone who is a fresher, there I often get to hear from people that they completed their engineering or they completed their MSc and they want to start something, but they don't know where to go because they have learned everything, not in a prominent way that they can start the career, but in a small pieces. So what is that they should go on? And I suggest them go with ServiceNow blindly. At least for next 10 to 15 years, it's a huge market. One quotation. Yeah, so there are many different quotations that I live by, not one, but I will quote a few of them. So one thing is that like if I need to sum up the life in just 3 words, so I would say that it goes on.
Right.
Just these 3 words. It goes on. Doesn't matter whether you are depressed, whether you are happy, how you are today. It just goes on. If you are involved, then also it goes on. If you are not involved, then also it goes on. So how to make better use of what you have, whatever resources that you have, whatever things that are in your capability is what you need to do, and then it will just give you a boost. So we need not to worry about anything and get stuck, because life will move on. You
Right.
move on or not, that is a different thing. Life will move on.
Right.
Today is 10th of November. If I just sit at this place, time will not stop. Tomorrow it will be 11. So whether I move or not, time will move on. So things keeps on going, and we have to go with the flow. So that is what I just, it just gives me some positivity. And another thing is whenever I feel low or there are difficulty, everyone faces difficulty, right? So there are difficulties in career or in work or anything. So I just read this quote which says that through the storm we find our strength. So until we get this term, we won't know that what is our strength, right? And there are different examples of knowing this. I won't go into much of philosophical discussion, but like this is a good quote to keep with us and keep remembering that if there is any difficult situation, once we are out of it, one good example is, if you remember about college days or school days, you definitely have one or two instances where you would feel like, oh shit, what has happened now, my life is like a very hell. But when you try to remember that thing now, you would laugh, but what was that? That was nothing. We were just making an issue out of it. So it goes like this. uh, we just need to move on and strengthen ourselves. That's it.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.